Hi, I'm Claire, and this is my review of The Girl with All the Gifts by MR Carey. This is a YA speculative fiction book, and it was published in 2014. I'm not going to say much more about the specific subgenre of speculative fiction that it is, because most people have said that they benefited from coming to this book and knowing nothing at all about it. I will give you a very brief introduction to the story and characters, but I will keep it fairly vague and there won't be any big spoilers. The book follows Melanie, who's a very special and very intelligent child. She goes to class in some sort of military complex. She doesn't know much more about it except that there is a military presence there. She goes to class with a number of other children, and her favorite person in the world is one of her teachers, Miss Justinu. She's warm and kind and smart, and sometimes in class she'll read the children stories. Melanie absolutely loves stories, and her favorite is the myth of Pandora, who of course was a beautiful, wise and kind woman who was pretty much perfect except for one fatal flaw, which was that she was very, very curious. So when the gods gave her a box for safekeeping and told her to never ever open it ever, she succumbed to her curiosity and looked to see what was in the box. And of course that is when evil was unleashed into the world, because that's what was in the box. So Melanie relates to that story rather a lot for reasons that will be obvious when you read the book. Apart from Melanie and Miss Justino, we have a few other important characters. There is a sergeant who's running the whole base, and he doesn't seem to like Melanie at all. In fact, he never talks to her without pointing a gun at her. There's also a doctor who seems to be doing rather a lot of research, but Melanie does not like her at all. She just has a bad feeling about this woman. And that's really all that I can say without going into major spoiler territory, but I will say, if you've heard what this book is about, if you've seen it online, don't think that it's going to ruin your enjoyment of the book. I knew what the book was about going in, and I really loved it. This isn't a book with a big twist at the end where if you already know what's going on, it's worthless reading it. It's not like that at all. You will probably figure out what it is about fairly quickly, especially if you're a frequent reader of sci-fi and fantasy, but part of the enjoyment of the novel comes from reading Melanie's point of view, kind of put the pieces together and figure out little by little what it is that is going on. And that's really interesting because you have this gentle introduction to everything from Melanie's point of view, and then it kind of develops into a fairly comprehensive view of the whole story from everybody's different points of view. So things start fairly slowly in this book as we're in Melanie's single point of view for a little while. But then the plot starts to pick up the pace, and we get some action and adventure. It's very exciting, and I had no idea where this book was going in the end. All of the characters have their different ideas as to where they want to get to and why and what they want to do when they get there, and those ideas often conflict with one another, so you're kind of kept on your toes as to what will happen. And I thought the resolution of the book was absolutely fantastic. It's one of those endings where you're not given absolutely everything that there is to know. I was left wanting more in the absolute best possible way. I was left wondering and thinking about the ramifications of what happened. All in all, I think this was a fantastic book. It was probably my favorite read of 2015 so far. I would highly recommend it whether you're a fan of YA or sci-fi, and actually I think this would work really well for someone who just wanted a taster of genre fiction, because it starts slowly in Melanie's point of view, and because when we expand it's still a fairly small cast. So this was my review of The Girl with All the Gifts by MR Carey. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read this book, let me know about it in the comments below, and if there's a book that you think I would enjoy based on this review, also please let me know. If you'd like to see more from me, check out this video where I talk about the books that I wish I could be reading right now, or check out my original book tag based on the characters in the Game of Thrones series. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button for more videos from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.